called Blacks for Trump. I told you all back then that it was nothing but a campaign slogan. That deep down on the inside, this man never has and never will like, love, or care about black people, unless they are selective black people like entertainers, singers, dancers, boxers, millionaires, or even billionaires. Outside of that, the common everyday black person, you can forget about it. Well, I found something that's interesting. This is Tyrone Bowman live. And you know what? I have to talk about it because it's newsworthy. They thought that they could get away with it. But guess what? Not happening. Some time ago, years ago, Oprah Winfrey interviewed the late Dr. Maya Angelou, the prolific writer and poet, remember? And during the course of the conversation, she said this to Oprah, quote, when someone shows you who they are, believe them, close quote. Donald Trump is who he is. He's never going to change. When he whimsily, in a sarcastic way, said that he lost that he conceded that he lost the election to Joe Biden, his core base of MAGA racists and bigots and white supremacists got angry with him. So now, in an attempt to win them back over, this is the new ad that the Trump campaign has produced, and they're currently running it. I want you to see it. So the ad I'm going to show you is courtesy of hashtag Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show. Don't get mad with me, Trump people. Your candidate had his people, the slick boys on Madison Avenue, put this together. And now I'm going to show it whether you like it or not. And I want to say to my black brothers and sisters, you better get off your behinds and you better get out there and vote. Stop playing around. It's a lot at stake in this election.
If you want to see a video that lays out how anti-black Donald Trump is, watch this.
Black Lives Matter. They're a lot of thugs.
I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that? They'd be carried out on a stretcher.
The president approvingly retweeted this video of one of his supporters.
A horrific scene in Charlottesville, Virginia. A white nationalist rally that descended into deadly violence and chaos.
I think there's blame on both sides. Very fine people on both sides.
He has pulled one of the great cons in the history of politics.
He could have been born in Kenya. A lot of people do not think it was an authentic certificate. I'm starting to wonder myself whether or not he was born in this country. I was the one that got him to produce the birth certificate. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black. I have been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln.
Donald Trump, he's made it clear throughout his life that he believes black people are inferior.
The Department of Justice accused the Trumps of violating the Fair Housing Act, arguing they were turning away renters based on race and color.
Donald Trump took out $85,000 in ads in the New York City newspapers calling for the execution of minors who at that point had not even gone to trial.
I hate these people, and let's all hate these people.
He has said on multiple occasions that he doesn't want black people involved in the counting of his money or involved in the running of his world.
He is a tried and true, dyed-in-the-wool racist.
In Trump's head, you can't be a person of color and an American.
So I'm going to play this again in a moment, as soon as this rewinds here.
I would do stop and frisk.
A violent confrontation on a New York City street that ends with one man, a black man, dead.
He just took me out the car, searched the car, asked where are the guns, where are the weapons and the drugs.
This is my license. I'm a pharmacist, right? But I get stopped all the fucking time. And because of that, I have to show this.
Stop and frisk. Very simple. You stop them and you frisk them.
President Trump plans to sign an executive order that will reverse an Obama-era policy which currently restricts local police from getting military-style guns and equipment. Why are African Americans still dying at the hands of law enforcement in this country?
And so are white people. So are white people. What a terrible question to ask. Wages too high. We have to leave it the way it is.
I worked in fast food for over 30 years, and I had to support my kids off of that money. Minimum wage is still $7.25.
It's rough. Gotta work 2-3 jobs just to make ends meet. You have to decide whether you're gonna eat or pay your bills.
Look at how well the black community has been doing under this administration.
Efforts to save small business from the impacts of the pandemic have largely missed black-owned companies.
When I applied for the PPP, we didn't get any help.
The big companies, they didn't have to wait. They got their money. They started spending it immediately. People like me were still waiting.
Great for small businesses, great for the workers.
The Trump administration has done more to shape the courts in just one term than any other president in recent history.
Trump has confirmed 203 federal judges, and of that number, 8 have been black.
Trump judges have suspended affirmative action programs like the Fearless Funds grant for black women in tech, ruled against plaintiffs in housing discrimination cases, supported racially gerrymandered voting maps, blocked the EPA from enforcing environmental justice regulations, leaving communities like Cancer Alley in Louisiana without any protections.
Cancer Alley, the stakeholders are 92% black.
As black people, we're suffering the brunt of all the ill effects of this petrochemical industry. We don't benefit anything from it.
We are the sacrifice zone.
Guard the vote. You should go into Detroit, Philadelphia, Atlanta, and you should go into some of these places, and we got to watch those votes.
Donald Trump said there was rampant fraud. He didn't say it was happening everywhere. He said it's happening in Detroit, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Fulton County, Georgia, Maricopa County, Arizona, Harris County, Texas, large urban centers with large populations of color. The thing that rhetoric is being used to justify are racially discriminatory voting policies, policies that make it harder for voters of color to vote.
There is a definite anti-white feeling in the country right now. That's what he said. You know, nobody in your family was hung. Nobody in your family was chased because of the color of their skin. How dare you? There's no anti-white issue here. You are perpetrating anti-humanist issues here.
You're living in poverty. Your schools are no good. You have no jobs. I got indicted a second time, and a third time, and a fourth time. That's why the black people like me. We've all seen the mugshot. And you know who embraced it more than anybody else? The black population. I'm being indicted for you, the black population. Kamala, they always say Kamala. And all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black. Would you rather have the black president or the white president? I think they want the white guy.
Look at my African American over here. Look at him.
Racism. The least racist.
I am the least racist person there is anywhere in the world.
My favorite color is black.
I'm going to leave that right there. Listen, ladies and gentlemen. People think that this is a game. It's not a game. It's not a joke. This was produced because he wanted to produce. It was produced because this is the sentiment of his mind and of his heart and of his soul. Who is he pandering to? Who is he catering to? Surely he doesn't give a damn about black people. He is catering to the racist, bigoted Nazis, the racist, bigoted white supremacists, the Proud Boys, or any other boys, whatever they want to call themselves. These are the people that he's pandering and catering to. He tried to pacify black people. What do you mean we can identify with you because of a mug shot? So criminality and a dude who's been privileged and white all his life, who never dealt with any discrimination or anything, thinks that black people can only identify with him from a criminal element. This is the reason why I decided to study law. And this is the reason why I'm becoming an attorney, to stand up and to fight for my people. I make no pretense about it. I'm going to fight injustice on every level. I'm going to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. I'm going to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. It's called activism. We need more modern day activists who are not just going to idly sit by and go along with any and everything. And I do not give a damn about what his people think about me. You can criticize me, you can say whatever you want in the comments section, it makes no matter to me. I'm talking to black people. These are the people I'm talking to tonight. I showed you the ad. Look at it again. Get off your behinds and get out and vote. Do what you need to do on election day for one day. Put down the liquor, put down the drugs, put down the weed, get clean, get sober, get your mind in the game, get your head right. Make sure you have the proper IDs, make sure you're registered properly, because you know, whenever they talk about voter fraud, they're talking about black people. Whenever they talk about misgivings, they're talking about black people. Whenever he's talking about individuals trying to steal the election, he's talking about black people. And Kamala Harris, I don't care. I said it in another video, and I'll say it now. I don't care about her past. I don't care what she was like when she was the Attorney General. I don't care about her prosecutorial record. I don't care what she was like when she was a senator. Just like Trump supporters, they don't care about his racism. They don't care about his bigotry. They don't care about him being misogynistic. They don't care about any of that. All they care is that he's white and he speaks for them. He speaks the sentiments of their heart. And while I'm at it, let me talk about the racist, bigoted evangelicals who built their economic empires off of the backs of black people. Let me give you one example. Rod Parsley, for a while, he thought he wanted to be a black preacher. So what did he do? He started hiring black musicians, hired black musicians, had black preachers coming in and out of there right and left, had a predominantly black congregation. Now he's all white again, and he spews the vitriol. I don't care what he says. He is Republican. He is a bigoted, racist, evangelical Republican. You saw him and his out-of-control bratish daughter berating and lambasting the black congregants in his church. I don't even know why they go there. Why do you even want to be a part of that church down in Columbus, South Carolina? Do your homework about the Deep South. Stop giving your money to these white racist preachers. Stop supporting their lifestyles. Stop supporting their empires. All they want black folks to do is to come to their church and to sing and to dance. That's it, and give your money. So we're not going back. We're not going back to slavery. We're not going back to bigotry. We're not going back to Jim Crow. We're not going back to the days when you could just, quote, pick black people and lynch them from any tree. I saw postcards, real, genuine, authentic postcards that they had back in the day from the U.S. Postal Service of black people burning at a picnic. That's why I don't go to picnics. I know what picnics stand for. It's short for PIC-A-N. That's what it's short for. We don't do picnics. We don't do barbecues. And Trump calls himself a man of the people. You can be foolish enough to put him back in office if you want to, and you'll regret. There was a movie called The Day After. Let me leave you with this. There was a president, it's fictional. I saw the movie, it's called Wag the Dog. There was a president who was losing in the polls. He had no central core message. He didn't know what to do. What did he do? He hired a film production crew. Robert De Niro starred as the producer and paid them a lot of money. And the fictional scenario was this. They created a war that didn't exist. And it caused the incumbent president to be re-elected. Wag the dog. Look at the movie for yourself. And you think we're going to sit back and act like we don't know what's happening? We know what's happening. We know what's going on. We are awakened. And we're not going to sleep. The historians are not going to rewrite history and try to leave us out and try to make people think, well, you know, it wasn't really slavery. There were just some people, they were just, you know, they willingly worked on the farm and we gave them some meager, you know, we were trying to help these blacks, these Negroes. We were trying to help them. No, the story's not going to be told like that. We will tell it from our perspective. We will write our own books. We will make our own movies. We will stand on the shoulders of our ancestors who bled and died in war after war and came back to America and were treated like crap. If you remember the General Benjamin O. Davis Sr., I think he was the first black 4-star general. They didn't really even want to acknowledge him as that. What about the saga of the North Pole? Yeah, it was Matthew Henry who discovered the North Pole. But it was the white guy that got the credit, who became wealthy and rich. And Matthew Henry lived up in Harlem, New York. They didn't even bother to talk to him. This is Trump's America. Chaos, confusion, bigotry, racism, hatred. Election day. Get it together. We don't have that much time left, ladies and gentlemen. And the Trump campaign is upset because country superstar Taylor Swift decided to endorse Vice President Kamala Harris. I'll talk about that in a separate video. So, the campaign is in full swing. I'm going to continue to talk about these issues until the campaign is over, and then I'll talk about some of the other news. Never surrender, never quit.